What's going on, Knicks Nation? The New York Knicks lose 89-121 on Mother's Day to the Indiana Pacers. Appreciate every single one of you joining me tonight after this blowout win from the Indiana Pacers, and they tie the series. It is now 2-2. The series is now 2-2, all tied up, going to Madison Square Garden. Woke up today feeling confident, especially after that Game 3 loss, excuse me. I thought it was a win, especially after that Game 3 loss. That's what makes it sting even more now, right there in the grasps. And the Knicks just came out today with no energy. No energy whatsoever from start to finish. They just look like a step slow. You could tell Brunson, something's bothering him. His shots are short. Josh Hart, I got subbed out early there. Dibs waved the white flag early. Hartenstein hurt his shoulder. Got subbed out in the third quarter as well. But start this game, Pacers just were out hustling the Knicks, just making everything. First of all, I think they shot above 50% from the field, number one. So it's hard to win in that regard. 56% from the field. 45% from three, and the Knicks shot 33% from the field and 18% from three. Yeah, S550 says it in the chat. Yeah. Look, I was not expecting this blowout win to occur today. I was not. And the Knicks are now 13-16 without OG Anunoby on the court. And look, he's a huge part of what we do. And it's a matter of, do you guys think the injuries are catching up to us? Do you think that the injuries have finally caught up to this team? Is the question I'm going to throw out there. Me personally, I don't. That's why you fight for home court. Still 2-2. No matter how you lost, buzzer beater, blowout, a loss is a loss. 2-2. You're heading back to MSG, where 2 out of the next 3 games will be played. Now, OG Anunoby is a big piece. Massive piece to this team, and the record shows it. I think 26-5 with OG Anunoby, or 26-6, something like that. So take it on the chin and regroup. This might be the quickest post game I've ever done. So, but look, happy Mother's Day out there as well to all the mothers out there. But it just stinks that the Knicks couldn't pull out a victory on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Mike says GG, all in the chat. It was a matter of time before we had a game like this. Not too mad. Yeah, I mean, first of all, the Pacers have, like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but the Pacers have, like, the most annoying faces. Like, it makes you just want to, like, I can't, like, Halliburton and the showboating, he can't guard me. Like, that stuff just gets me even more mad. But hey, he's hitting some tough shots. Look, if you want to talk about the game today, which we will, the Knicks, they can't stay in front of the guards. Pacers are trying to attack them every chance they get. And that's an issue. They can't keep in front of the Indiana Pacers. And the Pacers are noticing that, and the Pacers are being aggressive. You got McConnell. Every time he's getting to the ball, he's being aggressive. A couple of times on Deuce tonight where he got him. A couple of times on Brunson tonight where he got him. So it's just little things like that has been happening all series long. But, guys, this was one that you kind of want to just erase the tape and just start fresh. Game 5 is on Tuesday. This is one of those games where you just want to throw it away, start fresh. But we still got room for we still got work to do. Clearly. Wasn't going to be easy, and now it's not. It's 2-2 heading back into MSG. It's all about how you respond in MSG. Refs, once again, started this game really not calling anything on the Pacers. I'm not complaining about the refs, But now you're going back home. It's all about how the New York Knicks respond to this ass whooping, because that's what it was, an ass whooping. Mike says, can the Pacers realistically make all them threes, and now we can game plan for their defense they threw out and gave the Bucks? That's the thing that stinks, man. I mean, Halliburton versus the Bucks was shooting in the 20s from three. In this series, he is hitting some tough shots. Some absolutely tough shots are going in from Tyrese Halliburton. And he came in with a sore ankle. It didn't look like it. 20 points, 8 of 15, 4 of 10 from three for Tyrese Halliburton. So, Man Overboard says Deuce killed us today. A lot of things killed us today. I'm not going to point the finger at Deuce McBride. I mean, the whole starting five came out with no energy. I mean, Dante with a bad shooting game after having such a great game. 3 at 13 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, -40, -40. Brunson 0 of 5 from 3. You can tell something's bothering JB. Something's bothering Brunson. He has no lift. And I'm just hoping that, obviously in game 5, now at MSG, the crowd will get behind him and, he'll put up a performance like he did the first couple of games. But you could tell a lot of short shots from Jalen Brunson, and his foot is bothering him, definitely. His foot is bothering him. S550 says, all these injuries make it hard to enjoy at this point. Look, when Anunoby went down, obviously after that great game 2, right? The thing that stung was Anunoby, because you knew how much we need OG Anunoby. And the record shows 13 and 16 without OG Anunoby, and that's not by design. He's a massive piece to this puzzle. He guards Siakam. Siakam's getting to wherever he wants to on the court, and just, you can't teach size. And he's just shooting right over Josh Hart. So, and I think Josh Hart was at the end of the bench just pissed off, mad, as they should be. They all should be pissed off. Every one of them should be pissed off, because it was an unacceptable game. But you chalk it up, you learn from your mistakes, and that's why you fight for home court, because at the end of the day, it is still tied 2-2. Now it is tied 2-2. You're going back home to MSG, where you played extremely well. I think we only lost one game this entire playoff, so we got to respond. No matter what, even with that out OG Anunoby, because it's not looking good on the OG Anunoby front. They're saying he's doing pool work, but he's not running yet. And with another quick turnaround, game 5, we're gonna have to fight our way to win, protect home court, and just bring it back to Indiana up 3-2. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Carmel says, yeah, I honestly think we win in this series. I do. Because one thing I know about this Knicks team, obviously, look, there are some concerns, right? The on-ball defense with the Pacers guards is a concern. They can't keep in front of them. They can't. And they're running McConnell off of he's open, but let him shoot it. Like, he's just driving to the hole, getting to wherever he wants to be in the paint. They're inbounding the basketball again today. A few turnovers inbounding. I think it was one turnover by Deuce where he just threw the ball to the Pacers, inbounding the basketball. Concern. Isaiah Hartenstein's shoulder now. I mean, he got subbed out in the third quarter. Concern. Jalen Brunson's foot injury. All of his shots are seemingly short. Concern. But the positives are it's 2-2. Now it's a best out of 3. And 2 out of the next 3 games are in Madison Square Garden. That's why I have confidence. And OG Anunoby is obviously lingering. We don't know the status of him. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna say that just plan to be without OG Anunoby. Hamstring injuries are extremely tricky. But I do think we can overcome this and win in Madison Square Garden. Our sixth man in Madison Square Garden is our crowd, and the players seem like they get behind that. It fuels them. It unlocks another gear. So I do still have confidence, but I'll be lying to you if I were to say like there aren't concerns, because there are concerns. Pacers, I mean, you can say they kind of, I mean, what they did today shooting wise, 45% from three, 56% from the field. They constantly move. They're constantly in motion. Constantly. And it's a struggle for the guards to keep in front of them. And they know that. And their bench kind of showed up today. Obi showed up today, but their starters played extremely well. And they couldn't miss anything. So Doodle says it's an embarrassment. Look, just take it on the chin and you move on. Take it on the chin. Whether you lost at the buzzer, whether you lost by how much we lost by today, you take it on the chin and move on. But this is what makes game 3 sting even more, right? Right there. We could have went up 3-0. That's why every one of these, wins or losses in a playoff series can like kind of sway the series. So that's why we got home court, man. That's why we got home court. Buzzer Beater says, I missed the first half. What the heck happened? I don't think you want to know. I don't think you want to know, Buzzer Beater. I really don't. I mean, it's just one of those games where right off the bat, it was probably over at the end of the first quarter. The Knicks they got down by 20 in a blink of an eye. A blink of an eye. And I was like, oh, this is how tonight's going to be. And eventually one of these games, you want the Knicks to kind of be on the winning side of this. You want the Knicks to kind of blow out the opponent like the Pacers did today to the Knicks. But it just seems like all of these games that we're winning are close, and most of these games that we have lost are close except tonight. And I kind of just want to blow the Pacers out in MSG. I kind of just want to return the favor. But, dealing with these injuries, like I brought it up earlier in the chat, do you think that these injuries are catching up to the Knicks now? Do you think that has finally caught up to the Knicks, or do you guys feel like we could still wrap up this series and get it done? If anything, it just extended the series. The best out of 7. It's first to 4. And it's tied 2-2 going into Madison Square Garden right now. Doodle says if OG can't play, then he should play. I'm sure he's dying to play. But hamstring injuries are tough, man. It's not. I'm hoping for the best for OG Anunoby. I really am. Hopefully he can get back out there. He's doing pool work. He traveled with the team, so we just got to come back and be better in game 5. Doodle says, yeah, there's no sugarcoating this. You take it on the chin, face the music, and come out firing in game 5. Harlem Knight, we are good. Trust. We needed the rest. It's all good. Yeah, Knicks rested some starters in the third quarter, but the thing that I can say about that is the Pacers also got a chance to rest their starters. But look, another quick turnaround. Got a day off. Game 5 is on Tuesday, and then you got 2 days off until game 6 in Indiana. And now is where the fun starts, really. 2-2. It's best out of 3 now. And it's best out of 3, and 2 out of the next 3 games are in Madison Square Garden. So that's the positive. That's the positivity side about all of this. Mike says Knicks were tired. Yeah, I mean, from start to finish, this game really they didn't give us the effort normally that we were accustomed to seeing the Knicks throughout the playoffs. And to start this game, they came out flat. I thought, and the Pacers shot the lights out. And the referees, in the beginning of this game, they weren't calling anything again on Indiana. And it kind of got overshadowed by the blowout, which I get. But I think first quarter, Brunson kind of got, he got fouled on a 3-point attempt. They didn't call it. And that's when, the avalanche started. Not blaming the refs for that, but I'm just saying, like, Knicks haven't been getting calls in Indiana. So I guess whatever Carlisle was, the $35,000 fine, I guess it worked for him. But once again, I'm not blaming the referees. I'm just kind of going through the game with you guys. And second quarter, we just couldn't make up for the deficit. Pacers, look at this. 34 points in the first, 35 in the second, 32 in the third. Defensively, the Knicks were nowhere today. Nowhere. You know? And just throw away the tape. Just throw away the tape. Just throw away the tape, man. And look, Siakam has kind of had back-to-back efficient games, and like that has to do with obviously whoever's guarding him. OG Anunoby's usually his primary defender, but now it's Josh Hart. And like I said earlier, you can't teach size. Turner didn't miss a shot. 3 of 3 from 3 and 5 of 5 from the field. 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Halliburton efficient. I mean, look at these efficiency numbers from the Pacers. And I'm not gonna say that they were tough shots. I mean, they were getting open. There's times where Tyrese Halliburton is wide open. Wide open. It seems like the Knicks kind of get confused on the pick and rolls, and there's just lack of communication. And Tyrese Halliburton, credit to the player. I mean, he's dropping threes from like 2 or 3 feet behind the 3-point line, and he's making them. So now the Knicks have to kind of adjust to that. Like, okay, we got to respect him behind the 3-point line now. He's going to make those shots. He has been making them in this series, besides game 1, but we got to respect those shots now. So I'm interested to see what adjustments the Knicks make in game 5. I'm sure they will. They have been making adjustments all series long, but eventually, these injuries, man, they did start deucing the second half. That's what I noticed, but I think they kind of just wanted some offense they kind of just wanted some offense to get going in the second half. And that's why they started deuce in the second half. But I think maybe they go back to that. I don't know. But it's not like I didn't think Precious was like I thought Precious actually like gave us some good minutes. I mean, they're not respecting him behind the 3-point line, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling here. But it's a tough loss, man. You just throw away the tape. Throw away the tape, you move on. Smart Kid says, I would rather a blowout than a tough down-to-the-wire loss that exhausts our players even more. Smart Kid, the crazy thing is you got the blowout today and you got the tough, tight loss in game 3. So back-to-back tough losses for the Knicks. You lose on a crazy shot in game 3, and today you lose on an ass whooping. That's what it was. Just get out of Indiana and win these games in Madison Square Garden that were good. But look, fatigue. You guys think fatigue is a factor? I've heard that a lot on the ESPN crew. That could start to be catching up to the Knicks. Obviously today, energy-wise, it just wasn't there for the squad. I'm not sure. Like normally when the Knicks get down by like 10, 15 points, and that's happened a lot this postseason, like a ton. And they actually have a positive record when getting down by double digits in a game. Normally, you see them fight back quickly. You see them cut the lead quickly. But today, it just wasn't there. Just wasn't there for them. Johnson says, we may lose game as well without OG Anunoby. Hopefully, OG is available in game 6. Yeah, look, just got to hope for the best for OG. He's doing some pool work, but look, it's no surprise that the New York Knicks miss OG Anunoby on that court, and he's a big, huge piece to what we do. Obviously, just defense, and in game 2, just dominating the Pacers offensively. His best game as a Knick, and all we have to do is just hope for the best regarding OG Anunoby. So we need to put Precious on Siakam. Siakam isn't killing us from the outside. Yeah, I mean, look, they had Precious to start this game, but I think the Knicks switched it. I don't know why. They put Hart on Siakam, but Precious didn't really play, in the high-pressure minutes today. But, honestly, I thought Precious did a good, 8 points, 5 offensive rebounds. I know some people were complaining about Precious's start on Twitter I was seeing, but I thought he did a good job, an okay job, And this was one of the, Hart, obviously, this was just energy wasn't there. And that goes to the fatigue factor. But honestly, I'm not going to point the finger at anyone. I mean, everyone in the starting 5. I mean, Brunson, his shots were short. DiVincenzo, no show. Josh Hart, no show. Hartenstein. Just one of those games where it's like typical ass whooping. John says, I'm afraid to say the injuries are catching up. Half of the team is hurt. Yeah. Look, I can't argue with you guys who are saying the injuries are catching. We've lost 2 in a row. But the thing I will say about that, my retort to that would be, take a look at game 3. Knicks fighting their ass off. Should have won that game, honestly. Referees were not on their side in game 3. Goaltending. Last 2 number report came out saying that, Siakam was holding Hartenstein. Nick should have negated the shot. Hail Mary 3. But we move on. Today was kind of like uncharacteristic from this team. It's a terrible game. I mean, it's a terrible game. Awful. And offensively, they weren't there, and especially defensively. Like I said earlier, that constant attacking from the Pacers guards has been an issue. Nembhard is attacking them. McConnell is attacking them. Halliburton is getting to his spots in the mid range and kind of just kicking it open to the open man. And that's what the Pacers do. They just keep running. And I guess you could say it kind of like the Knicks were just, all right, see you in game 5. So, Lamar says, win Tuesday or go to Cancun, period. Got to win Tuesday. 2 out of these next 3 games are in Madison Square Garden. That is why you fight for home court advantage. That is why you get the number 2 seed all in all. You win at home, and the Knicks have done so besides the game where they blew to the 76ers in Madison Square Garden. That is why you fight for home court. And besides this ass whooping, I feel like the Knicks are going to throw away this tape, learn from it, and be better in game 5 in front of their home crowd in Madison Square Garden. You win that game, then it's 3-2 heading back to Indiana. Like Lamar said, you lose that game, then a lot of Knicks fans are kind of going to be like, all right, that's 3 straight losses to this Pacer team. They kind of have their mojo. They've kind of figured things out, but I kind of don't want to think about that. I feel like this Knicks team will respond like they've been doing all season long throughout these playoffs. Little adversity here, yo. Little adversity doesn't hurt, but there are some concerns. TA says we missed over 70% of our shots and they made theirs. That's why we got blown out. Yeah, I mean, when Miles Turner hit that crazy 3 over, I forgot who was, I think it was Hartenstein that was guarding him. I was like, all right, it's not all right. Like, they hit some crazy tough shots, and when they're open, they make it. And look, they're open a lot. They're hitting their tough shots, and when they're open, they're making them. So, got to put your hand up. Got to put your hand up, and defensively, the Knicks got to lock down. They got to lock down. No Randall, no OG, no Mitch, no Bojan, and Brunson banged up. Yes, John, injuries have finally caught up to us. Curvin says, I hate blowout. Make the game boring to watch. Look, injuries are a part of the game, obviously. Injuries are a part of the game. But Knicks have overcome a lot of injuries. And for the Knicks still to be in a good position with 2 out of the next 3 games at home, I think they'll overcome this too. Losing Bojan hurt. I thought Bojan before this series would have had an amazing series against the Pacers. Amazing series, like Dante. That's just another 3-point sniper out there. We lost him for the year. Obviously, Randall's been out for a while now. But look, we beat the 76ers without Randall. And he's a very valuable piece to our team. But I feel like we still can beat this team without, those guys. And it's shown in the first couple of games. After game 1 and game 2, it's shown that we could beat them. And game 3. We were right there. So back-to-back tough losses is kind of having everyone rethink everything. But you sleep on it. You enjoy your Sunday evening. You enjoy your Mother's Day. And you just get better and get ready for game 5. Because, look, it doesn't matter whether it's a game-winning shot or a blowout, and it hasn't mattered these last couple of games. Now the series is tied 2-2. But I'm still confident, guys. I'm still confident. Like I'm there's concerns, but I'm still confident because I know in MSG this is a different team. And I'm wondering what Rick Carlisle, he cried after game 2. We don't get calls in here. Small market teams give us a chance. It worked for them. They went home and they got the home whistle. Right? They went back to Indiana and they've gotten the home whistle. And now we're going back to the Mecca in Madison Square Garden and tip the ball up, man. We're ready. I'm sure Brunson will be ready. I'm sure he's probably flames coming through that head right now. He's ready. He probably wants to play tomorrow. So enjoy this day off. It's still 2-2. And we'll go get them in game 5. Lamar says they are, but we are ravaged with injuries. This is crazy. Raider says, go Pacers. GG's. See you on Tuesday at the Garden. Raider. Pacer fan in the chat. Raider. Pacer fan in the chat. Lamar says, I'm pessimistic, man, but especially because of these injuries. West End says Knicks in 6. Let's go, West End. Knicks in 6. I posted this emoji to the Knicks Nation Twitter page right here. I'll just leave it up in the chat. OG Anunoby, we miss you, bro. Get well soon, Mr. OG Anunoby. We need you out there. What is the Twitter timeline talking about tonight? They're talking about free throws attempts tonight. Really? 31 Knicks, Pacers 8. Come on, that's not even. All right. Tom Thibodeau says when he's asked if Jalen Brunson's foot injury is impacting him, he says he's fine. So he'll keep going. Look, Brunson says if he could walk, he's going to play. So obviously Brunson is going to play. It's not just OG. OG was good. OG was out for a good chunk of the season, so that's no excuse, Tom Thibodeau. Look, exactly. And Precious has stepped up in OG's absence, but obviously in a playoff situation, it is going to be magnified even more because you're literally 2 losses away from going home. So in a regular season, you actually there's a light at the end of the tunnel with OG Anunoby because obviously there's a set date about his return. But in these tense situations where you're 2 losses away from going home, everyone's kind of like, all right, when is OG Anunoby coming back? But seems like there's no real update regarding him. Again, he's doing pool work, but getting treatment 3 times a day, and we just have to go from there. Jerry says, for the record, I would never stop believing in the Knicks. Every team has gotten flooded at least one game. That's it, guys. You just got to keep your composure. Just get back out there in game 5 and win a basketball game. Josh Hart all game long was kind of like, you could see he was pissed off at the end of the bench, just waiting. You know, he's pissed off, man. You got blown out, and as you should be. It's a blowout loss. And we haven't experienced one of these losses in a minute. Like, that's why, like, it's been a while. But take it on the chin. No excuses. You come back home. It's best out of 3 series now. You know? Best out of 3 series. And I have confidence that this group will show us some things in game 5. Because if not, then we can start being concerned about, like, the injuries and the fatigue. And that's when I can honestly say, all right, it's caught up to us. But I'm not there yet. But it's creeping that way, but I'm not there yet, especially coming home. Look, defensive rebounds, Pacers 43, Knicks 16 offensive rebounds. I mean, this game, like, points in the paint, I don't even want to talk about this game. Like, look, blowout loss. We lost. It is what it is. We move on. We take it on the chin. A lot of things to work on defensively. Deuce, Devo, Brunson, they just have to stay in front of their man. Pacers are attacking the guards. Siakam, I think I want Precious on him majority of the game. Josh Hart, you can't teach size in that regard, but I think Precious is kind of doing a good job on Siakam, even though Siakam's a great player. So Kind of want to shut off his water a little bit. But look, on to game 5, guys. On to game 5. Smarkus says, don't look at the timeline. Yeah, I mean, nothing but negative. Obviously, honestly, a lot of Knicks fans are like positive after tonight. I mean, but there's concerns, you know. But if anything, what today did was give the haters more fuel, right? The people who said, like, oh, this next season is a fluke and this and that, on tomorrow, that's all we're going to hear. Like, I'm not even going to listen to the radio or ESPN or this and that. Like, that's all we're going to hear from everybody. The injuries are starting to catch up to us. And look, it could be a valid reason, but there's still games to be played. And two out of those next 3 games are in MSG. But we need to focus on game 5 and win that game. That's all our focus should be on, and do what it has to take. The Knicks should take game 5 as sort of like a game 7 for them. Because if you lose that game, going back to Indy down 3-2, game 5 is a must. Game 5 is a must. Lamar says, yeah, we needed this ass whooping to wake up. Hats off to the Pacers. Great game, but the series is tied. We got the next game. Knicks 100 GM. What's going on? Forget any other position. Get insurance for when OG is out. Yeah. VV in the chat says, tough show to stomach. So bullish on the Knicks next game. Nonetheless, these endurance speaks for themselves. Draymond Green about to look like a... yeah, look. On to game 5, ladies and gentlemen. You take this one in the chin. A loss is a loss. I see a lot of you talk about next season already, but this season is still not over. I still believe in the team, and I feel like we will win this series. And it's just a focus on game 5, you know. Clean up the inbounding. Clean up the on-ball defense. Get Deuce McBride's shot going, because Deuce McBride has kind of like, he had some shots like in garbage time today, but he's kind of like flamed out. The shots that were falling for Deuce McBride in round 1 haven't been falling for him in this round. And they're kind of great, good looks, open looks. And just get his shot going. Hopefully the shots that he made in garbage time today would get those shots going. Dante, I'm not worried about. Hartenstein, I'm not worried about. It's just, you know, Precious. Jericho Sims looks like a deer in the headlights out there whenever he's called to do anything. So, but it's a tough situation for Jericho. He shouldn't be playing, right? There was a 8-second violation where Jericho dribbled the ball up and he stopped at the half-court line. And I was like, just get over the half-court and then worry about passing the ball. So he's nervous out there, but we'll be better. We'll be better. Jared says, nothing to be embarrassed about. Knicks were shorthanded and the minutes caught up to them. Rest up and we got the next one. There you go. Game 5 is a definitely must win, or stay home, must win. Look at it like a game 7. You want to win that game going up 3-2 back to Indiana. You lose that game, you're down 3-2 heading back to Indiana, where the Indiana Pacers have not lost since March 18th. They don't lose in their home court. They don't lose. PR says, gotta match the Pacers' energy. Knicks were flat from the start. Hats off to the Pacers for taking care of business. JB has me a bit concerned. His shots are short and lift just isn't there. Yeah, that's a concern too. JB shots are short. Even those prototypical push shots are short. Just easy shots that he's not making around the rim. So it sucks, but all you can do is hope for the best at this point. That's it. It's the exact same way the Sixers series went. Just Pacers are a better, younger team. A lot will be, look, Game 5 is massive. Game 5 is massive. And what makes this one sting is we could have won Game 3, right? Want to take it back a little bit. Knicks were up 2-0 last game a couple of days ago. Had a chance to win that game. A couple of calls didn't go our way, but we lost. No excuses. And now today we got smacked in the mouth. So it's like, damn, like what is going on? Like what's wrong? And Brunson's shots look short. No energy out there today. So It sucks, but 2 out of the next 3 in MSG. Kareem says this game was trash. I hope we bounce back after this. We will, Kareem. We will, because if we don't, I don't know about that, man. But we will. If anything, the Knicks have shown us that we will. MSG faithful is going to show out for Game 5. So, Knicks, they're going to feed off that crowd, and like they always have been. Don't worry about how much we lost by at the end of the day. It only counts as 1 loss in the series. Series is tied 2-2. Shoquan says maybe we should go complain to Adam Silver, since that's been a successful strategy in the postseason so far. It's honestly crazy. Like, okay, set the game aside, right? The referees, I think there was a play where Deuce McBride at the end of the first quarter, I think it was the first quarter, or the end of the first half, clearly got bumped. No call. Brunson got fouled behind the arc in the first quarter. That kind of no call. So Pacers cried and it worked, but look, man, referees are gonna ref. Tony Brothers even gave what's his name a tech on the Knicks today. He wants to be in the spotlight. He had to give someone a tech today. So it sucks, but you move on. We didn't lose this game because of referees. I'll tell you that. You could say that for Game 3, but we didn't lose today because of referees. I'm not surprised about the outcome. Indy didn't want to go back to New York in a closeout game. Yeah, I mean, you got to credit the Pacers. Look, this wasn't going to be easy. Pacers are tough. I was not expecting. Obviously, I picked the Knicks in 5, but I was not expecting OG Anunoby to get hurt. I think if we had OG Anunoby, this would be a different series right now, but we don't. So we just got to work with what we got. That's it. Just got to work with what we got. I'm interested to see if the Knicks go back to Deuce starting in Game 5. He started in the second half, but then again, we need that length on Precious. On Siakam, excuse me. D Nice says Knicks played horribly today. D Nice, man, that's taking it lightly. Trash game, man. Terrible. It's a terrible game. What other loss feels like today? Like, Knicks getting smacked in the mouth by, like, we have to go back so far for the Knicks to have a blowout loss like this. That's what makes today shocking a little bit. But I'm over the refs. No one cares. Hit shots. Yeah, we didn't lose today because of the referees. But I'm over them too. It is what it is. Hit your shots. A lot of open shots. Short. Just got to move on. Shelton, I had a feeling this game would play out this way. We're shorthanded fellas. Too much pressure on the remaining guys. What's going on, Shelton? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like, look, obviously Burks. The thing is you could hold your hat on is Burks, right? Burks came in Game 3 and really balled out, sitting on the bench for the last month, 2 months, and for him to come in Game 3 and actually look like the Alec Burks we thought we were going to get from Detroit, that's a positive step. Today also hit some shots. That's a positive step in the right direction. But when you kind of like lose OG Anunoby in the midst of a series, you kind of like want to feel out your rotations a little bit, which is why I think Tom Thibodeau started Deuce in the second half. But I'm interested to see how the Knicks they're going to use Burks more, because obviously we need a lot of scoring to keep up with the Pacers. And last game, Dante had an amazing scoring game, and we kept up with them scoring-wise. And defensively, I thought in Game 3, the Knicks were better than today, obviously, newsflash. But it's just, look, it's just on to the next. It's just on to the next. Knicks 100 GM, the OG effect. When he out, we get exposed for not being great on defense. He's a great player. He's a great player. Chris says, I'm feeling good. Knicks are resilient, and now the time is now to show up and prove it. Let's get this Game 5 win. Hopefully OG is good to go for Game 6. That's it. Just got to be confident for Game 5. I'm still am. 2 out of the next 3 games are in Madison Square Garden. That is why you fight for home court, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the Knicks faithful would get behind the Knicks and bring out the best in them. I'm sure they will. We played extremely well in Madison Square Garden. There's some things to clean up. There's concerns, but we will be back in Game 5 in Madison Square Garden. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you joining me on Mother's Day. Appreciate every single one of you. Happy Mother's Day to all the women in the chat, or, you know, your mothers. So hope you guys have a amazing rest of your night, your evening, and just hopefully you guys can forget about this loss. So, yeah. I'll catch you guys. I think we're doing a podcast tomorrow, and then obviously Tuesday's the game. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm Anthony.